Hey everybody, it's Tamara Thompson here with the Video Marketing for Business podcast, and I'm super grateful today because I get to actually bring in a great friend of mine. We actually got to meet in person back in 2019. He was a speaker at one of my Broadcast Your Authority events, and he is the go-to guy with building Instagram. He's got this major influence, and he's been able to build a very successful brand with a sistergram. And Zach, I'm so delighted to have you join us today. Thank you for being here.
Hey Tamara, yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll let you tell a little bit more about what your company does. Like you have quite the journey and story. Maybe you can dive in a little bit with how you kind of got into this and your backstory, and then kind of lead into why you do what you do now. But you have such an inspiring story, and I love for you just to share a little bit about that with my audience today.
Yeah, so actually right now I'm in South Korea. It's morning time, 6 a.m. And take it back 34 years, right? I was actually born here, born in Busan, South Korea, adopted, and then grew up in Iowa. So I pretty much lived in Iowa my whole life. And then at that time, I was struggling with two things because one, I was like this Asian looking guy in the middle of Iowa. And two, I had the speech impediment and I couldn't say the letter R. And so I was always getting made fun of and, had a hard time in school growing up. And so life was just kind of like so for me until I found dancing. And, dancing became like my voice, my passion, something I just really loved and enjoyed doing. And I just went all in, and that's a big part of my story because at that time in my life, I didn't have a lot of confidence. And so I never thought I would be speaking on stages and traveling the world and working with hotels and with all these influencers and celebrities because I was a very shy guy. I wasn't good in front of camera. I never saw myself like actually being on stage and speaking. And so I overcame that speech impediment thing. And it took a while because the speech therapist was like, you can't talk. No, if you quit my classes, no one's going to be able to understand you, and you probably won't amount to much. And I was a little kid when I heard that, and I listened to heard these, I guess, lies I would call them because it wasn't true. It wasn't true. And dancing became, my I guess foundation and built up my confidence and got me out there. And so then I started traveling and started doing TV shows. I was on So You Think You Can Dance, TV show for dancers. And then I just taught dance all over the world. And so that's a little bit of my story. And I feel like you guys should know that because, I taught it for many years and it became my life. And I was making $1,000 an hour teaching dance. And then all of a sudden it was taken away. I hurt my back in India. And then the same guy who got me into dancing got me into Instagram and called me up and was like, Zach, like, I know you're depressed. Like you just had surgery, I know, and you're in a hospital now. But listen, like me and my brother are making a ton of money on Instagram, just simply growing people's accounts. Like you got to get in on this. And so with the last $10,000 I had because of all the surgeries and expenses, I sent him a check to Miami in 2015 and just bought 10% of a 400,000 follower Instagram account. And it was in the comedy niche and space. And we grew other people's comedy pages and aspiring comedians. And then we just rinsed and repeated the process and started acquiring more accounts, more assets on Instagram, more pages, and just built an empire. So, now life has really changed. We have a over 200 million network on Instagram, all these influencers and celebrities signed to us. And we work with some of the biggest brands in the world, like Ritz-Carlton and a lot of tourism boards in countries like Dubai, and people that just want to become bigger influencers like Russell Brunson and Les Brown and people like that. So yeah, it's cool, but I thought I should share a little bit about that story because we're going to be talking about video today and how to, leverage video and use it to market and grow your business.
Yeah, no, I remember when I first heard your story, I was like, this is awesome because it ties into where you started, and then you utilize this platform to help build your business from where you started with, like, actually using that, right? So I have a similar story of, leveraging YouTube and video to have viral content, so it's like, it's part of my journey was, I was really passionate about, growing. Well, at the time I was directing films and winning documentary awards, getting picked up by indie flicks. Like, I had all these things going on, but then that moment where I was like, let's release little tidbits, micro content, short video clips out to YouTube to share these inspiring stories, little clips, snippets, of these people's stories and these documentaries, and see what happens. And that, like, literally took off for us, because all of a sudden we launched one channel that was related to a documentary film, and we had 800,000 views in a matter of a few weeks. And I was like, wow. I got so excited. I don't know about you, when you see something go, like on Instagram for your example, YouTube for my example, but I literally wanted to know, like, how I could do more of that, but also how to, like, teach other people how to do that or help them grow their YouTube channels. And that's really how my company came to be. And you might feel the same way. Like, you see something happen, you're like, oh, I want to be able to teach people. I'm sure people approach you like, oh, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? And then formulate offers and ways to actually help people. And then they hire you. And then it's just like, relationships are just key at that point. But I'm sure you have some stories too on that. I know I've watched some of your content, and video is one of the biggest things that we can use. And I know you use video quite often on Instagram, right?
Yeah, yeah. And no, I have, like, that's really cool about that, like, going viral and getting 800,000 views, like, so fast. Like one really cool story of mine was, like, when I went to the Maldives for the first time, and I stayed at where, like, Will Smith and all the celebrities stay at. It's called Suniva Johnny. It's about $48,000 a night. It depends when you go and what room category you stay in, of course. But they invited me out for actually just one night at that time, because it's so expensive. And I stayed at their other sister resort, which is just a 30-minute seaplane ride trip from Suniva Johnny, and stayed there for 6 nights. But while I was in Suniva Johnny, I only had one night there. But it's like a hotel where it's a 4-bedroom villa. It's a mansion suite. And you're laying on your bed. You can basically, with the click of a button, the whole roof opens up so you can see the sky, and at night you can see the stars, and it's just a really beautiful place. And I, at that time, thought, like, they just came up with that those villas where the moon, with the moon roof. And so my idea was, like, I'm going to contact the in-house videographer, and, like, let's create a video. Like, let's start, like, where I'm laying on the bed, drone is, like, above, like, me, and just, like, right above my face, and then fly out through the roof, which was really dangerous because it's so, like, windy once you, like, go in from the house to up into the sky. And we just had one take, because when he tried to bring it down, it was so windy that the drone crashed. But that video went viral, and it was reposted, like, hundreds to thousands of times. And even, like, the new GM, when I went there again most recently in December, was like, yeah, I saw your video. Like, that video took off and put us on the map, and took us from, like, 20,000 followers to now they have over, like, 400,000. Like, that was one part. And video is powerful, because when you get reposts, you get the right celebrities sharing it, retweeting it, reposting. Like, that's how you can get on the map.
Yeah, no, we've had great opportunities for things too, because once you do have that viral component, obviously you see everybody doing, like, TikTok these days, or now IG Reels. I'd love your take on IG Reels and how often you're using that, or helping your clients use it, because we've been teaching with our content marketing system. So we actually create the micro content, from their YouTube video, the teasers that go out into IG to promote back to the full episode. But that's the one place we've seen some more success over, like, going through COVID, and continuing now, is having that viral piece. it seems like Instagram Reels is kind of trying to compete with TikTok in a way with that. I'd love your take on how people are using Instagram Reels right now to build their brands.
Right. So yeah, like you guys are lucky because well, in the States, like it's really taken off. Like just in Korea, the Reels just came to Korea like maybe a month ago, and not everybody has access to it. Only certain celebrities and entertainment groups have it, but it's starting to like go viral here, and everybody's using it. And I think like the most important thing that you said too was just like micro content that piques people's interest because we have such short attention spans, like especially video. You have to catch their attention span in a couple of seconds, right? Or a few seconds, because that's all you have. And then to keep dragging them down the road to watch like a longer video. And I think reels and like content like that is just, it's the perfect recipe to kind of get people to keep clicking and to keep watching other stuff that you have. And it's one micro exposure that people see, and then hopefully leads them down to watching and consuming more content. And I have like, it's cool because you never know who's watching. And I think with like, whether you do reels or you do stories and you do Instagram live and you do post on like Facebook and you do like some posts on LinkedIn, it's accumulation of all of those things that then finally someone who's been following you and watching you for a while, it's like, oh, like first saw this video in Maldives, and then I saw you with this like famous business influencer, like, you know, like Roland Fraser. And then I saw this vulnerable post with you talking about how you found your birth mom and reconnected with her. And then I saw this, you know, the thing that you're doing in Maldives. And then, you know, all of these together, they finally leads them to reaching out to you, striking up a conversation, taking initiative, because you want people to actually pique their interest enough to take initiative, reach out to you, and, you know, connect. And then from there, it's like easier to, I guess, do business together or, you know, find out other cool opportunities.
No, I totally agree with you, Zach. I've had you won't even, I have countless messages from people that are literally like, hey Tamara, I saw this video. I've been following you for a while. You know, I'd love to connect with you or learn more about what your team or company provides as a service. We get a lot of things because it's about kind of, obviously I'm a video marketer, so I position myself as a video marketer, you know, video influencer, if you want to call it that. But I also I'm like all over the place, like you said, going on to those places. But what's cool is like our team's creating this micro content that's, you know, formatted for each of the platforms, but in different ways. So like a formatted video for, you know, stories, and then a formatted video for LinkedIn, or, you know, or repurposing something in graphics or things like that. So they see the consistency factor too, and it's positioning you as the authority. But they start seeing you everywhere. And when you are consistent, that's what really helps drive our client success on that piece. Because on the YouTube side, when you do that, you're consistent on that piece of it, like YouTube rewards over time. You know, it's like Sean Cannell says, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know,
Yeah.
it really is. And it's the same thing with Instagram too. We've seen those that post at least one IG reel a week, and then consistently post through stories, tend to get more traction, more viewers throughout that, and being able to kind of keep track of that. So we've seen a lot of success with a lot of people that we've worked with just on that one factor, but being able to split up that micro content in different ways, because they're starting to see you, like you said, everywhere, but it's maybe a different type of post, or like a vulnerable post, or here's a really cool creative post, or oh wow, it's like, oh, here's a lifestyle post, you know, or here's something about what you offer, you know, so they kind of get a feel of your overall personality, the brand, what you do. And it just strikes conversation and curiosity like so well, at least for what we do. And I'm sure it does that for you as well.
Yeah, it does. Like, well said. And I think the other thing is that don't be afraid to like actually just post, even though it's not going to be like a banger, right? Like you're like, oh, like I feel like this won't get a lot of views, or this won't get a lot of likes or engagement. Like I'm kind of afraid to post this one. But it's like that time when you feel afraid is like when you should just, again, put it out there and be consistent, because you never know who's watching. And it's just like maybe a few people are only watching, but it's just that one video or that one post that that person needed to see that then finally brought him over the hill and was like, okay, I gotta talk to Zach, you
Yeah,
know?
no, it's just having like, and it's just that one person, that one connection, and then that connection can open up other connections. And when you provide value with your service for that client, then that's how we work really well. Is we have a lot of strong referral partners. You probably do with your service as well. So it's like when somebody works with you and talks you up, they're like, oh, I love what Zach's company is doing for us with Instagram. I love what Tamara's company is doing, with YouTube. It's cool because it's just like this organic thing, because people know, like, and trust you because somebody else said that they trusted you. Like if I refer Zach, in your company to my clients, they'd be like, oh, I trust Tamara's opinion, so of course I'm going to hire Zach. And I think it's like a full circle. You're in the entrepreneurial space with me, and I think that's the way a lot of people work. But when you have those values and that omnipresence all over, it reaps the benefits. At least in my eyes, it does.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's like important to find your style too, because everybody's style is a little bit different. So like what they need to see, like in a video or even just like your lifestyle shot, it's like different stuff like attracts you different people, and you have to know like what your audience really likes, and to give them more of that stuff, with that particular style, because that can attract them. And so like for me, my style is more, I guess people see me as kind of like the luxury travel connoisseur, right? Instagram luxury guy, where I'm traveling to these tropical places and staying at these really nice fancy hotels. Like it's part of the brand because it's what I do, and I work with tourism boards, and so they host me for free, right? So it's like I mean I don't have enough money where I can drop 48,000 a night yet on a hotel in the Maldives. Hopefully I'll get there one day, but
You
you
will.
know,
You will. I believe
you
you.
know, you
You
know,
got this. We're gonna go. We'll go together. We'll get neighboring rooms.
yeah, right. And so like people are like, but like how do you do that? And it's all about like being creative and using video, because all of these hotels in these countries, they basically hire like companies like you and video influencers to come out to experience what they got, right? And they're like, oh, like I love this video by like Four Seasons. Zach, can you and your team do this? Well, I'm like, yeah, I can. And it's gonna, we'll need at least 21 days there. We need at least 5 villas. If you can cover that and pay for that, then we can come and do this for you and create a better video than the Four Seasons, for example, because we work with the Ritz. So
You
it's
said a big word there too, and I'm a big component on that. You said like, experience, right? So like providing people experiences. So they're providing you this experience that you're creating, this experience wow factor for them and their brand. I think that's the same thing, obviously, with videos. You think of it that way. What is the experience that this video? What the vibe? Like you said, you're primarily you do it like luxury lifestyle travel connoisseur, things like that. Mine might be like I have like more of like kind of professional content, but then I'll do some short clips because I'm super animated. Like people, I'm like a sound effect girl, and like I do silly stuff. Like I'm very like on point, on brand, but like you'll see like my short little videos where it's like 30 seconds and I'm just super animated and my facial expression is like, like you'll get my like selfie, like I'll just do stuff, but it's just my personality, and it's always good to just show your personality, but that, like you said, like show an experience that you're catering to. You're catering to that experience with your company, a sistergram too. Like that's what people want. They want that. They might be like high eyes, they're like want the influence, the luxury status, that that feeling and the experience, and that's what you provide with your service for a lot of influencers too. Can you share a little bit kind of what your service does for influencers and stuff? I know we kind of touched on it, but I'd love to share like everything that you guys provide as an experience for your clientele.
Yeah, so a Sistergram, my company, think of it as like your own team, dedicated growth team that's doing everything for you, right? Creating all of the content for you, the content strategy, posting hashtags, engagement groups, connecting you with other influencers that can promote and share your product and advertise for you. So it's a done for you service where we do all things Instagram. And now, I mean, we help other people with some other stuff as well. Like we're kind of branching out and growing, but Instagram is our bread and butter. And we basically make influencers, bigger influencers, so that they can reach more people. And we also help people who are just starting out that have, amazing messages, stories, and products that they just want to share with the world, and they just want to get exposure to. So, and to get more people to see it and to consume and watch their content. So like that's really like what we specialize in, and it's fun. And now we're kind of bringing that together where it's like a done for you service. Come to the Maldives, come to Bora Bora, come to these amazing tropical destinations, come hang out with us for a week, and then we do everything for them. So by the time they leave, they also leave with a brand, and it's cool. So it's fun. I love just traveling and exploring the world and meeting new people and learning about new cultures and creating epic memories with people. I mean, that's what life's about.
I love that you got such charisma and passion for what you do and the experiences that you provide for your clients too. And if someone was to inquire about either your service or the Maldives, experiences that you have coming up there too, where could they find some more information on that? I know you also are a great keynote speaker too, so anybody that's looking for a really amazing person to talk on Instagram growth, definitely hire Zach Benson to put a plug in there on that side. But you're great. You have a great story. But yeah, if somebody was really looking for specific things, where would be the best way to connect with your team?
Yeah, so you can simply go to assistagram.com. That's our website. So feel free to, set up a call there, grab the free guide. And then also, yeah, I'd love to connect with you guys. Like feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. My account is Zach Vacay, and you can reach me there, DM me, send me a message. Would love to chat. And the Maldives Mastermind. Yeah, the MaldivesMastermind.com is where you can go to find out more info on that. We're going to be doing stuff in the summer, July 2021, coming up fast. But yeah, definitely reach out. We'd love to connect.
I think a lot of people are gearing up and ready to travel if they haven't already during this time. I think a lot of people are starting to trust the fact of travel again and want to be a part of those in-person experiences. And I know we were talking about this off call, but yeah, it's just one of those things like when you can actually invest your time and energy to go out to these experiences to connect with amazing people and help your brand grow in a tremendous way. Like definitely encourage people to take and make that investment in themselves, because so many more doors open through those. Like just, I always encourage people to take action with things like that, because yeah, you and I both hold experiences and high level experiences in different ways. If it's a 1 day or a 3 day or a week or whatever that looks like, I just say go for it, because we are here on this earth right now, and we really do want to help inspire other people to grow as well. And so, Zach, I really appreciate you for just joining my audience today. Just yeah. super blessed to know you, my friend. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much too. It was really great being here, and you always put together amazing events and bring the best of the best together. So yeah, I mean that's how we met, and I met so many people at your event and still stay in touch with them. So thank you for all that you do, and yeah, it was really a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Do you have any last inspiring tip or notion or quote of the day, anything that last inspires somebody to take action, just to either get going more on Instagram or just get out there in general?
Oh yeah, yeah, it is actually that, just to like actually just take massive action, because life is so short and you don't know what's going to happen, and you can't predict the future. But always what I think that I can do is what I can do today. And I always try to offer my very best in everything that I do and greet everyone with a smile, compliment them, tell them, something special about them that you like and you see, because life is really all about people and it's what you do today that matters. So make it a great day.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Zach, for joining us and sharing that last little feedback. And anybody that's watching this, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to receive weekly notifications. And I will see you next week.